Yeah, so our last session together, everyone, we made it to module 4, and uh, thought it'd be helpful to, again, ground ourselves with Adrienne Marie Brown's quote around the workplace is not neutral. As a reminder, again, why Katrina and I do this work and how we seek to show up and reimagine what the workplace might be. So unlike last week with our in-depth memory lane, to make more space for our conversation today, we sort of jotted down the list of things that we did last week. And Katrina, I can't see who's doing which slides, so
I'll do this one.
cool.
All good. Yeah, all good. We'll just work together on this in step as we move through the slides. Tim, just let me know what you need. So just a really quick update on our memory lane. Tim introduced the SCARF model. And so we were thinking about that in terms of how we might, in change, consider potential impact to people's status, their sense of certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness, and how those may trigger a fight or flight or a kind of fawn response as you're introducing a change or suggesting that things look a little bit different. We also talked about our philosophy around consistency, both from the search committee perspective and the kind of transparency of updates and things like that to the employees in the organization, but also from the candidates' perspective. So really thinking about how we kind of can make a structured process, not robotic, but structured enough that we give everybody kind of equal opportunity to respond to the same questions, have the same opportunity to ask questions, and to hear and discuss from the committee perspective. So Tim went through the interview arc. We talked about that idea of really opening up the expression of interest, having less sort of application requirements so that you can have more focus on, who might be even a little bit interested at the first moment in time. And then how that interest can kind of grow and round out as the process continues. We talked about sort of the magic that we're finding in these 3 interviews, and also had some perspectives from the group around, this is because of the market right now, because of time, because of all these issues, sometimes people don't do the 3 interviews. And so what are those sweet spots, and how do you create something that's really bespoke to the opportunity that you've got? And what are some of those decision-making factors that you're considering as you move through that? We talked about letting the candidates connect the dots on their experience and the opportunity that you're presenting. So really having a chance to engage the imagination, both from the candidates and the search committee, to hear these different stories. So when you're thinking about candidates, you're thinking about them in light of the role and not kind of putting candidates against one another throughout the search process. We had a weekly challenge around using an interview script, maybe creating some scenario-based questions and a rubric that might help to assess those candidates to the role. And we talked about this idea of being really attuned and relational in the approach, to check in with candidates, to give them in advance the invitation to create some questions or do some prep work in advance, and to really be clear and sort of consistent in what that ask is and what the expectation there is as well. So that is, the real speed through version of our memory lane.